Hello, hi everyone. This is Dr. Sana Khan. I'm your biology expert, and here I am with the video number 2 of the chapter Human Health and Disease. So, in the previous video, we talked about the types of immunity, right? About the innate immunity and acquired immunity. So, what was innate immunity? Do you remember? Innate immunity is an immunity which is present since birth. So, will it involve the production of antibodies? Say no. Yes. Why? Because there is no exposure to pathogen. As there is no exposure to pathogen, no antibodies is produced, right? So now the innate immunity has certain barriers which are present in our body since we are born. So we are having certain barriers since we are born. So what are those barriers? Those barriers are, the first one is anatomical barrier. The second one is physiological barrier. And the third one is phagocytic barrier. And the fourth one is inflammatory barrier. But in this video, we are going to talk about the first two barriers, that is anatomical and physiological. The remaining two we are going to talk on the video number 3. So without wasting time, let's get started and talk about the anatomical barrier. So anatomical means there are certain body structures which are present in our body and they are preventing the entry of microorganism in the body, right? So they are doing what? They are preventing the entry of microorganism in the body. So what are the anatomical barriers? Anatomical barrier which is present in our body is skin, and the second one is mucous membrane. I think everybody understand this, that skin which is present in our body doesn't allow the microorganism to go into our body. Why? Why? Do you know the answer? I'll tell you. See, the skin का जो outermost layer होता है, the outermost layer of the skin is dead. So as the layer is dead, it is preventing the entry and growth of microorganism into our body. Understood? So as the outermost layer is dead, it is preventing the entry of microorganism in our body. And the second one is mucous membrane. The name itself says, what is it going to secrete? Mucous membrane. So it is going to secrete what? It is going to secrete mucus. And what is this mucus? Mucus is sticky, very sticky, and it helps to trap the microorganism. So mucus is sticky in nature, so that is why it traps the microorganism and it prevents the microorganism to go into our body. Okay, so the mucus coating is present in various tracts of our body, right? That is the respiratory tract, the gastrointestinal tract, urinogenital tract, and etc. and etc. So this layer prevents the microorganism to go inside our body because of that sticky nature of mucus. The microorganism gets trapped. Okay. Apart from that, we also have cilia as a structure which also drives the microorganism out. You can clearly see it in the image, right? So how it is driving the microorganism out. Now, next one, coming to the next one, that is physiological barrier. I hope anatomical barrier is clear, right? Anatomical barrier, skin, mucous membrane, and cilia. Now, coming to the next one, that is physiological barrier. So, physiological barrier is a one which prevent the growth of many invading pathogens. So, here the pathogen has gone inside, but it is going to prevent the growth of that microorganism in our body. Okay, so it is going to prevent the growth of these pathogenic microorganisms which are disease causing organisms which goes inside our body. Okay, so here we are going to talk about body temperature, pH, body secretions which are present in our body. So first, let us talk about body temperature. What is your normal body temperature? Normal body temperature is 37.5 degrees Celsius. So at this temperature, our body cells are functional. They are performing all their function, whatever it is designated to them. Okay, but whenever pathogen goes inside our body, our temperature gets elevated, right? Why? Because there is an infection. Pathogen has gone inside. It is going to create an infection because of which the body temperature gets elevated. So at high temperature, what happens? Our body cells do not get affected. They are still functioning. Okay, mazboot hai. They are still functioning, but the growth of pathogen gets inhibited. But what happens? The growth of pathogen at this temperature is inhibited. So can I say that fever kabhi kabhi acha hai? Why? Because at that high temperature, our body cells are functional, but the growth of the microorganism, the multiplication of these microorganisms gets inhibited. Okay, so the first physiological barrier is fever. Coming to the next one, that is pH. You must have studied various chapters, right? Blood ka pH. Then in digestive system, you must have studied about the saliva pH, about the gastric pH. So what is this pH? pH means the power of hydrogen, right? So now at the pH, what is this pH level? Why is this so important? Because at this pH level, there are enzymes which are still functioning. They are able to perform their function. But again over here, because of the higher pH, the growth of the microorganism gets inhibited. So here we are going to talk about an example of gastric juice which is present in our stomach. So gastric juice which is present in our stomach is very, very acidic, right? It is very, very acidic. So because of that acidic nature, it kills most of the ingested microorganisms. So if any microorganism goes inside our stomach, it automatically gets killed because of this pH level, which is of our gastric juice. Understood? But at this higher pH level, there is no effect on the enzymes. Enzymes are still functioning. Still, they are doing their normal functioning. That is digestion of the proteins, digestion of carbohydrates, digestion of fat. But the growth of the microorganism gets inhibited. They get killed. Okay, so coming to the third point, that is body secretions. Body secretions, maybe we are going to talk about an example of tears, asu. What is there in your asu? Let us see that. See, tears contains lysozyme. Lysozyme is an enzyme, but it is not an enzyme normal wala. It is bacteriolytic enzyme. It is which enzyme? It is bacteriolytic enzyme. See, these are the bacteria. Okay, so lysis means breakdown. So अभी किसका breakdown होगा? Bacteria की cell wall का breakdown होगा. So as soon as the tears falls on this bacteria, see the image. As soon as the tears fall in this bacteria, the lysozyme which is present in the tears is going to digest the bacterial cell wall. What is it going to do? It is going to digest this bacterial cell wall. Can you see it in the image? Yes. So it digests the bacterial cell wall. Okay. And it kills the bacteria. Simple. Now, now let us take in another example of body secretions. What happens when you get infected with virus? For example, there is a certain virus which goes into your body. I don't worry, I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus. Let us take a very normal virus like influenza virus. Okay, so what happens? Let us understand that. So when certain cells gets infected with the virus, these are the cells and the green one is a virus. So it releases, what does it releases? It releases interferons. What does it releases? Interferon, which is a glycoprotein, and this interferon make the surrounding cells resistant to viral infection. Means it does not allow the virus to affect the other adjacent cell. Can you see? So as this interferons got released by the virus infected cell, it didn't allow the other cells to get affected with that virus. Okay, very, 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 very important for MCQ. What are interferons? Interferons are released by virus infected cells and they protect the subsequent cells from the viral infection. Okay, so let us summarize the physiological barriers. So physiological barriers, the first one is fever, second one is lysozyme, and the third one is interferon, and the next is acidic pH of gastric juice. Okay, so this is the summary of physiological barrier. Anatomical barrier was very simple: skin, mucous membrane, and cilia. So I hope you have understood about both the barriers. The next two barriers, that is the inflammatory and phagocytic barrier, will be explained in the video number 3. So do watch it. Till then, study this, make your own notes, and work hard for your dreams. Bye. Take care.